And we are live. Hi, welcome. Anybody, everybody, tech SIM card. We talk all things AI and web design and digital tools at large. But, they're all kind of integrated. So today I just want to show there's a lot of people that call me, or rather, I work a lot with church leaders, church pastors, whether I'm shooting a podcast for them, helping them deploy, helping them sell a book, build a website, etc. So I felt it, cool to kind of do a live showing people how to design or how to build a church website. It's very easy. Remember, principle of this site is no code, is using builders rather. Something on my screen is just due. But anyway, using builders like all the other videos that I show you. I am not going to show you how to register a domain, www. whatever, in this video. If you want to watch that, go to website video 1 and 2. I think at the first 6 to 10 minutes of those videos I show, but particularly video 1, I'll show you how to register a domain. But basically you would use Afrihost. It would look something similar to this, whether it's Grace Bible Church, Rivers Church, Eternal Glory, whatever name of your church, so you can register this using that. And if there's people who want me to come and do an intervention in the church and help them digitize, teach the people in the church through a workshop so that they're not dependent on a person like me who design once, they come back for more serious things, I'm more than willing to do that. techsimcard@gmail.com is my email so that you can contact me. All right. So I'm assuming that you've went through the video, you come back to this, you've got your domain. So what then you will do inside your cPanel, I'm using Afrihost a lot. You go into login into website manager. Under website manager, you find what is known as a cPanel or control panel. You scroll right to the bottom of the page, you'll see WordPress. We're using WordPress to design, and the reason is very simple. WordPress is a separate company from Afrihost, but they've got a partnership with Afrihost and many other ISP companies, ISP standing for Internet Service Provider, with a bunch of services in it. That's what it means. So then what then they've done is that you use your domain that is linked or plugged in into Afrihost so that you don't exhaust the server space on your Afrihost. For an example, if you've got an Afrihost where you're hosting, say, 50 gigs, you don't have to share that 50 gigs with the WordPress space. So WordPress is a separate space on its own that uses its own servers, and it's free. So you could be paying in the regions of like what, $100, anything between $100 and 500 Rand per month, depending on your server space on Afrihost. I think that's a win in my opinion. The reason I like Afrihost is because I can call them anytime and they're able to assist me. So anyway, what we're going to do, the website that I have, I've got site.techsimcard.online, but I want to show you how to install a website. So don't mind this one. Let's say we're going to install. I just have another sub website that I want to use. Maybe you know what, maybe let's do this. I just want to see what's on the site, this particular website. Oh, okay, there's something I was doing for one of my friends. All right, we're going to delete this. And the reason I'm deleting this is because I can't install on an already existing installation. Now that's a subdomain. So I've got techsimcard.online, but I've got subdomains, meaning I can install other domains under the same one. So my one will be site.techsimcard.online. Your one could be whatever you want to use. So you then click install. under install, you will see this. I'm just going to select the second one. You would obviously select the first one or whichever one you want to use. Then I'm just going to remove this WP, and under admin, I'm just going to use these for now. Admin, pass, but I advise you to use a proper user name, like an email, your email, and then use a very good password so that when you have to reset things to be able to log in, be able to do that. And then we say installation. So the username is admin and the password is pass. But that's very simple. Don't use that. Rather have your own. But this is for demonstration purposes. As soon as this video is done, I delete everything. So it's installing now. And it's done. So it gives you two URLs. A URL is basically the think of it like the name given to the domain. So when I say, it's like saying, give me your phone number. A URL would be, give me your URL. Then you would give them your www or HTTPS or whatever. So you've got two URLs. You've got one that is the live site, and you've got one that says /WP-admin, meaning that's your admin page where you fix all the mistakes. You can customize it to be whatever you want, but story for another day. So I'm going to go to this one because we're trying to make customize things. Just going to close this. Now, the platform that we'll be using is personally my favorite, is called themify.me. You go to their website, themify.me. They have a couple of plugins under there. They've got Ultra, Shop, Music, all themes. You can buy any of these. Why do I like Themify? It's because they give you the option to buy the plugin once off. You know, you don't have to keep paying a subscription. I really like that. So we're going to be using the Ultra theme. There's other themes. We're not going to be using the developer. We're not going to be using the master. We're going to be using the standard one. The $59 is about 920, but remember, you're paying this thing once off. I think it's a steal. I'm not going to buy it because I already have it. I've already bought it. So I would advise you to get one as well for yourself. And then when you're done buying it, it comes in form of a zip file. Then what you'll do, this is your landing page. Once again, if you want to go in more detail in the other videos on what the dashboard is, I explain those things. But under appearance, you go under appearance, you go to themes. Remember, this is a theme. That's why it's called Themify. I think it's a cool name. Then under appearance, you say add theme. Under add theme, we're going to upload. These are the default themes that you get from WordPress. Then we say choose file. You see it wants a zip file. We're looking for the zip file. My one is in my downloads. There's the zip file, Themify Ultra. I open it, I install it. See, straight after installation, it's basically doing its thing and whatever. It's unpacking. Theme installed successfully. Then what you do, you're going to say activate. Then once you activate, you're going to see the theme appears here. Now I've got a lot of bunch of default things. What I do advise is for people to play around and kind of figure out how to use it. Again, if you want me to come and assist you, or you want a course that you can go through this stuff, please let me know, because I go into detail. I even show you how to deploy social media campaigns, how to deploy advertising your church onto those platforms, linking it with your website. Now, let me say this. Why do I advise and teach about websites so much? It's because everything that we are doing in digital or the online space is websites. They can be redeployed or rearranged or redesigned for phones and etc. An app is basically a website for a phone, in simple terms. Remember, Facebook is facebook.com. It used to be only a website. Now we're using it exclusively more as an app on a phone, but it still uses the same ecosystem, has some sort of different functionalities because it kind of leverages the technology of the phone. So think of apps as websites that are designed specifically for mobile devices to leverage the technology of the phone, cameras, sensors, GPS, etc., etc. So I advise people to, and churches more particularly, to have websites because you can easily control the narrative of what the church does. You know, you don't want to spread misinformation. Don't allow rather misinformation from people from outside. So if everything is officially released by the church and then deployed to social media platforms, then it makes sense that way. I always advise it. And at a later stage, when you want to sort of deploy certain things through the church, whether you're doing the back end, you want to train people, you want to include some sort of a way you can distribute the books if the church leader or church pastor is writing books, you want to share information and tutorials and church material, or the pastor has got, like, I know with Grace Bible Church, Bishop has got, I think it's the Bishop's Corner, which is more like the place where you get resources for the church. I know a Rivers Church would have where you can click and get in touch with the bookshop, and those are really cool things. But now you can't do them on socials because it's limited. You don't own the domain. Makes sense. So yeah, getting back to our page. So once you're done here, you've got this default thing. I won't go into a lot of details, but let's say we're going to go for this. Do you see it says Ultra Church? Now, what you're seeing on your screen is basically what is known as templates. Templates, it's pre-designed miniature websites that kind of get you started. Think of Canva. I did a video on how to build a website using Canva. Think of Canva and all the little things that it has that are default that normally you would pay a graphic designer for. This is similar. So you go on Themify Ultra. These are other websites. You click there and you say import. Then say proceed to import. It's just doing the importing. Some things might fail here just at the bottom, and the reason is some things might need additional plugins. That's why when we bought under Themify here, remember you've got these other options. You find these other add-ons here. So for some people you might not use them. For this purposes you won't use them. So that's why you would get that error at the bottom of the screen, but it's nothing to worry about. I'm just going to wait for this thing to finish. It doesn't take long. I should start playing some of my music in the background as these videos play. That would be nice. Especially for live. Whatever the case might be. Alright. Okay, it has demo content. It might take long because it's importing stuff at the back. Okay, I'm just gonna close this while it's doing its thing. Let me see if it's done. Okay, I think it's done. I'm not sure what the holdup is. So once it's done, it should have a tick that says import completed. But right at the top left here, you're gonna right click here and say open in new tab, because I now want to see the changes. Then I'm gonna go there. There's the thing. Just gonna be checked. There it is. From that to that. And there's your church website. Now, all these things are default. It still doesn't look like your church website. You need to turn on the builder. Once you turn on the builder, I've got all these icons. I'll give you a bit of an example. Let's say here on this one, it says edit. I want to make this button into prayer request. But now, what is the prayer request? What are you trying to send people to? What is the call to action, or the last thing that you're trying to do? What is the reason for the button? So I'm thinking email or contact number. So email, there's a short, you can learn this, mail to, semicolon, let's say info at unitedchurch.org.za. So what you're doing is you say, it says link. This mail to, it's basically a short code that normally when we, I'll show you something here. So if you right click and say inspect elements, so it will come in so that this part of the website reads it. So the website understands this language. We as humans understand the visual language. So you're kind of giving it instructions so that this space knows what this is. So that's the short form. Mail to. There's many others, but for now, know this one for the sake of the. So if I say save, and relaunch the site, see? So now if I press prayer request here, it should open a mailing app and it auto-populates the email address that we've kind of assigned, right? So if they're on the phone, it will assign whatever they're using. What you want to do, you want to cut the process of them getting your email and sending. It's like when you're paying online, you want to cut the process of the money going out of your account to the other place. So in this, it's the same kind of thinking. If you've noticed with more and more, a lot of the smartphones, you can use Apple Pay, you can use Google Play, you can use Samsung Pay, I believe, to kind of what companies are trying to do. They're trying to cut the process and the thinking of, let me take my card, let me punch in the number of my card, let me add my CVV number, So what they're doing is that you have your code on the phone, you have your facial recognition, that's your authentication. Your CVV number is saved, but it's saved at the back. I know I'm being too technical, but it's the same kind of thing here. So when you think designing a website, you're thinking of all of that. And in the course, or if you want me to come to the church and do a workshop on this, it is this kind of thinking, because there's the designing of the website, and then there's the UX or the UI, meaning user experience and user interface. How are people interacting with your website as a church? You got to think about those things. You just dump information on people and not make it interactive. So when I click here and say prayer request, look at what happens. Okay, so it launched something because I'm using that thing to record. Anyway, so you see here, it says info, unitedchurch.org.za. Then the person will say prayer for my family, and then we'll start typing whatever. Then it's sent to you, you get it as a church. It can get more sophisticated than that. You can add AI automation with your email replies to the person, not just a generic auto response, but it replies in context. It acknowledges the request and links it up to whoever is in charge of this department in the church. I teach that as well, AI automation as well. But going back to our website, this is what you can do. I'm just showing you a much more advanced kind of way of doing it. But for the other stuff, you can literally just click on the builder, double click here. Hi, this is our church. And you can change the size, but because it's a landing page, you can put this. Now if I wanted to change this picture, I will just click here where the header is. It highlights, you see in purple, and then I'll say go here. Sorry, I'm trying to change this. Edit here, and then I'm looking for the image here. Let me have a look. Background. There's the image. Then I can find it. I'm just going to use any other image, but if you have your own images, you can upload them. You just upload the size, and then let's just for the sake of demonstration, we put this picture. But then you can go and take pictures of your own church and insert. Boom, there we go. Then you save it. Then you refresh. Boom, look at that. I mean, there's other things where you can start engaging with the website in how the dynamic way things are coming in, etc. And you can embed videos. Let's say you have a sermon here. Let's do that maybe. Let me say we're going to add a video here, like a sermon video. Maybe under this part. Yeah. Okay. So let's say we have sermons. The pastor has sermons. And then you say turn on builder. And you say edit. Now what do we want to do here? We want to change this and add a video. So what I'm going to do, edit this here. I'm just going to delete this one. And then what I am going to do, I'm going to go into my builder here, and I'm going to grab an icon that says, where's video, drag, drop. Boom. Check that out. Now I can design the layout. I can do this similar to what the pastor's one was doing. And then I can, let's say maybe the layout, I can choose two. I know maybe it's a lot of information to take in, or you can play around. Maybe let's use this one. Do I use this one? Yeah. And then let's say we want to add some text here, right? I'm going to press this. I'm going to add, where to say text? I'm going to add text. You can either type here or here. Doesn't matter. This is our, oh, what do I want to write? Past Sunday message. Right now we haven't even made it to be as beautifully appealing. So what I normally say to people, just change what is already there. Like replace. I was just showing you how to actually add a video. The one that I like to do is basically, if it's today, is this week's video, I'll make it into this. Okay, so what I like doing, if it's this week's sermon, I want to make it as big as possible, so that when people land on it, they kind of click on it. So video, hold the video here, and boom, it's nice and big. Then change the link. Remember URL. I'll change this URL. Let's find a church sermon on YouTube. Grace Bible Church. Or find me maybe a Bishop's Honor one. Yes, Bishop's one. Okay, we go there. So let's say maybe I'm just going to choose anything. So you see here, I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to back to the sermon and double click, paste it there, or maybe let me show you, remove it, then paste it. As soon as I press outside, it comes up. Then look at that. Then I save. Okay, just waiting to render and finish. But you're pretty much done. But like, I'll show you a trick that I use so that it speeds up. This is years of practice, right? It speeds up the process of how you design websites for churches and how you design website for your church. So I'm refreshing the page. What I normally do, I'd remove all of this and I'll only leave what we are prioritizing as the church, because there's no point in putting in about events, locations, Put the stuff that is important now in terms of pages, because what then it does, depending, on how soon the church wants to launch the site, these tabs might take you forever to finish them. You might find yourself working on this thing for 3 weeks to a month, if not more. So that you have presence online, put up the most important thing would be landing page, church info, information about where the church is, times to this week's sermon, or maybe the live stream, and that's it. And then as you build, you just keep adding tabs without deconstructing the entire design structure of the website. That's what I always do to people. You can set up something like this. The church exists, people know, and then you can have a tab for emailing. There's another sophisticated way of doing emailing where you can actually have people fill out a form online. We'll do it on another video. Just check out the videos. I'm showing people how to do that, where you can do newsletters to people. And if you play this, it starts playing on the site. But let me turn on the builder. I want to show you something else. If you go to edit here and say on the URL, where is that function? Okay, they used to have a tab. I'm not seeing it here. They used to have a function where when you click on a video, it opens on another tab. So I'm assuming now the thinking is that, but I can right click and make it play on another tab. I get the thinking. So I used to be able to have that option here. I'm not seeing it. You've got autoplay. It'll play immediately. You see, it starts playing on its own. You can make that decision. You can have it on mute. You can have it on loop. You can have it as an overlay image, which is disabled. You know what I mean? So when you say overlay image, you can add an image. So if you do add an image, what it will do, you will have an image before the video starts. I don't advise this. This is not clever. I'll switch this off and let it autoplay, and then have people play the video. I don't switch on the volume. I'll let people decide on that option. So that is how you design a church website. Now you've got your full-on church website has been designed. These other tabs, if you want me to go deep into these other things, you can invite me to the church. I'll be more than willing to come in and do a workshop and teach people how to kind of go beyond just registering and using a template. If you like this video, hit me a like, subscribe, share, comment, and check this cool merch from a lady by the name of Nono. which is cool. I like it. I'll see you again on the next one. Bye.